Hello, my lovelies. How are you? I am Eriu and this is Eriu Tarot Readings. And you, my darling, you are very welcome here today. So, guys, I'm so sorry I've been MIA for quite some time. Life's been a bit busy and I've been doing other things and applying for other things and such. So, well, you guys voted and you said to me, majority was that you guys wanted bi-weekly readings, so here I am. I know I didn't get, unfortunately, to the start of May, which I'm really sorry about, but I am on the go here and I'm ready to rock with your 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks of May, your bi-weekly readings of May 2017. So my lovelies, let's rock and roll. There's no time to waste and let's do your reading. Hey Cancer, hello again. Hello. So this is your bi-weekly reading for May the 15th to May the 31st, 2017. Again, I'm so sorry for being so MIA, but I'm here with you now and we're going to do your next, like, bi-weekly means bi, meaning two in 2 weeks, but realistically we're looking at like 2.5 weeks at the end of May. May's quite a long month, so I've already shuffled your cards quite a bit. Feels like I need to do a bit more. So I hope you're well, Cancers. I hope you've all had a lovely few weeks. I hope it hasn't been too tumultuous for you. Everything's going to be going okay. You guys, though, you're very good at like keeping yourself contained. You know what I mean? Even when like going gets tough, you're very good at just sticking through it, digging deep. Okay, so I just have, if you hear a little slurpy slurp, just because I have my beverage, okay? So handy. I love these jugs. Look at this. It's just a straw. It makes me drink so much. Anywho, okay, so this is going to be your general love reading for May the 15th, as I said, 31st, 2017. So your first reading is going to be your general. Second is going to be your love, which feels like this. Now, 6 cards depicting your story. Top is your first week. Second, or bottom line, is your second week. And so I don't know. See what's going on with you. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So remember, start of the week, midweek, end of the week. This is supposed to be your general reading, but there's a lot of love going on here, Cancer. Ooh, this is nice. Okay. All right, let's get started, yeah? So, start of your week is this beautiful Page of Cups energy. And Cancer, this is so cool for you because this is your suit. Okay, remember, cups are always Cancer, Pisces. Let's see what's next for them. Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. And you've got this wonderful Page of Cups energy. Now, I feel like you're starting to really get to grips with who you are. The center of your being, very much so. Page of Cups comes in. And remember, we're not gender specific here by any means, right? So it can be male or female if you're viewing, and if it makes sense to you. This is for you. So this is great. Page of Cups, what does that mean? Here we have somebody who's just kind of starting to come into their own in their own suit, and they're still trying to figure out many things about themselves and about the suit at hand. Beautiful, kind of just almost learning about it, trying to figure it out. You know the way like little kittens play with like toys, new little toys that they have, and they're so like, they explore it with their, not just physically, but with their mind and their eyes. You could see it in them. This is kind of like that energy. It's quite playful, it's youthful. And Cups, obviously, as you know, is all about emotion. Emotional comfort, emotional abundance, and emotional fluidity. Page of Cups comes in and he says, I've something to give, actually. I've something to offer. And he does. He's got this lovely cup, and you see the fish coming out here representing water. And it's about being able to give this as a gift to someone or to something. Now, I feel like this is the energy you're embodying at the start of the week. Don't really actually, even though it represents you, I don't really feel like this person is you. I feel like this is you, but we'll get onto that next. So yeah, so, you know, obviously I've been MIA and apologise again for the last few weeks, but prior to that you guys were going through some difficult work thing. Or like work in any case, you know what I mean? Like study as well, projects. And and exams is what I think. And it was a bit of a struggle for you, and you had to keep your counsel, especially in your work environment. But now you feel a lot freer, Cancer. This is real good. Really is. And this gift that you have, I think this is almost, it's something that you've acquired. Normally pages own their gift, their particular suit. They just own it. Yeah, they're not quite sure how to use it. But they own it, they have it. But I feel like you've acquired this. You've kind of, do you know what it feels like? It's like you've gone back into yourself again. You're like, oh, I can concentrate on being me again. I can give a little bit more to that other side of me, or that side that governs me, which is this beautiful emotional development, which you may have been straying away from for whatever reason. Maybe just life in general was like, hey, you have to dedicate your time and yourself to this. You couldn't give back to yourself in this instance. Or in that instance, sorry. And now it's saying, oh, you get time to do that again. It's like when you've time to do the things that you want to do again, that replenish the system, or physically or mentally, emotionally and spiritually. And I feel like you're going, right, I can give back to myself now. I have time now. The weight has been lifted off the shoulders. I feel like a lot of you were carrying weight and issues, and you did it because things had to be done and things had to be taken care of. And albeit there were probably a few things as well that were placed on your shoulders that weren't your responsibility. But like any good Cancer, you just took it on the chin and you went, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take care of it. Resilience is your middle name. And now you're going, whew, that's all off me now. Whew. Now I need to give back to myself. I need to recharge a bit. I really do. I need to, especially emotionally, It's very important you get that emotional balance going for yourself. And you do. And what's even nicer about your first week, or your top week, I should say, is that you've come into this King of Cups energy. So it's the time that you give yourself. Like, it's so important that we take care of ourselves in that instance. That you come into King of Cups. So like, you've elevated yourself. You've gone, yes, I got to give this gift back to me. And now you come forward and it's like there's such a huge growth period here as well. Like, you've essentially jumped over the Queen and gone right into King. And there's a lot of strength within this King of Cups, a lot of emotional strength within him. He understands, I always say, he understands that ebb and flow of emotions, how they can peak, how they can elevate, and yet at the same time, like, decrease in nature. He understands that sometimes it's all just a bit rough. Those emotional waves are hard to ride sometimes, but he understands that, like, at times these emotional roller coasters, they're temporary. It's not all the time that we are stuck in one emotion. We experience variations of different emotions throughout the day. Even sometimes within minutes. But that's his strength, his knowledge of this emotional fluidity. And I feel like you're just really happy now. I feel like you're content. I feel like that re-energizing, that time that you give to yourself at the start of the week is really going to just boop, boop, boop. It's like, do you know what it reminds me of there? I don't know why I made that noise. It reminds me of like Super Mario, when he gets that mushroom and then he just grows. That's what it reminds me of. Just like, you've leveled up, Cancer. But for yourself, do you know what I mean? Which is really cool. And then at the end of the week, it's just like you're just flying high. This is so cool. At the end of the week, you've got Major Arcana, the Lovers. Oh, okay. Now, I said this was your general reading, but obviously love is in the air for some of you. So it'll be interesting to see what way the actual love reading goes for you. But remember, the Lovers are about two people who really see each other for who they are. And who not are karmically tied, but allow themselves to be present in a situation where love can flourish. If this is about the person, if this is about you, if this is about your journey, because look, you're very singular here. I don't see people like coming in rocking the boat for you in any manner. Then this means this card is about you getting to grips with what you're really and truly in love with. Not necessarily who. If we apply it to the person, then it's like all of those sides of us that make us us, that we're happy with, regardless of whether or not we view it as being good or bad. It's about the two sides of us mirroring at times mirroring each other at the same time, though, as being a yin and yang. But knowing that unity and combination of the two makes us complete, and loving all of that regardless of whether it be good or bad, whether we call it our dark side and our shadow side and our light side, our chiaroscuro. It's also like being in love with life again. When you really give back to yourself, especially this being your suit, like this is serious, like you're really coming back into your own. And with such beautiful power, that's not in your face. It's not too much for people to handle. It's just about you owning you. And in turn, in a weird way, we kind of fall in love with ourselves again. We kind of enjoy the skin in which we live in. You know, warts and all. And I just think this card in general is just stunning. Look at the artwork here. How beautiful that is. And those rods, I used to regard them as rods, always growing up around them. Rods obviously being wands and being fire. Beautiful fire energy that creates this warmth and lovely passion within and around the lovers. Maybe it's time, or maybe you are now, just being a bit more considerate and passionate towards yourself. And in turn, you've created your own love for yourself, and that makes you feel whole. We don't always need someone to make us feel complete. We must first feel complete in ourselves. We must learn to love ourselves, both sides of ourselves, even our feminine and our masculine sides. Oh, Cancer, this energy is lovely. Like, it's really beaming, and not in that big kind of like strength card way or the sun card way where it's like, you know, it's just, there's such a glow about this, and I feel like there's going to be such a glow about you. That life is, maybe it's slowing down a little bit more, but it's necessary so that you can do this for yourself and that you can come back to yourself. You know, not putting the brakes on everything, but letting everything else happen around you while you take care of you so that you can grow into you again. And in a way, like, get back to knowing you. Beautiful week. I love this. I love him as well. He's so strong. Now in your second week, interesting. Okay, we got the Queen of Swords, Knight of Rods, and Six of Swords. So beautiful Queen of Swords. Who is she? Queen of Swords she's air. She is a Libra. She is a Gemini. She is an Aquarius. And I feel like, you know, at times you can say that kings and queens and knights and pages and all this, they can represent different people. But a lot of the time it's about you as an individual embodying the energy that comes from these cards, these so-called individual people. I honestly think that we, you know, it's very much like, let's say like a pentagram, but like we, you know, a Cancer can embody like earth-like elements as well. You know, like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you can own those pentacle elements. The same with the way you can own sword-like element. You can be like a Libra, like a Gemini, like an Aquarius. The same way that you can get fired up like a Leo, an Aries, Sagittarius. I really believe that all of us have those parts in us. And of course your natal chart is going to reflect that in a huge way. So here I'm not surprised that she comes up. What surprises lovely Queen of Swords comes up and is like, hey, what's up? She's known as the widow card, the divorcee card. But I feel her so light in this energy. Ooh, it's like you had to kind of hibernate and do the crab thing to get back to you, and then you're like, okay, I'm back. Let's go out and let's meet people and let's be part of the community again and let's get involved, and you feel freer here. You feel lighter in yourself. You may have really been bogged down with things the last while, Cancer. You really may have. And it's great that this is, you know, beautiful May time as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like great. You start to feel summer. And that even in itself is a huge boost to us. Immune system wise, I mean, physically we're all out and about a lot more. And it's just so good. It's so good. Like, this doesn't feel like a person to me. This feels like how you're going to be. You're going to be out there, you're going to be facing life, and you're going to just be like, yeah, do you know what? Give it all to me. You're going to be so much more chatty. You're going to be exchanging in conversations. You're going to be talking about stuff that maybe you even don't normally talk about, that you keep to yourself. You're like, hey, do you know what? Free as a bird. Yeah, actually that happened to me, or I'm about to do that next week actually. And yeah, there's just a lot of chit chat. But it's lovely, it's lighthearted, it's not too heavy, there are no, you know, heavy DMCs going on. It's just you being involved with people again. And even though Cancer is very much, you know, when you think of the crab and just how you can go into your shell sometimes and not divulge as much or be as transparent as maybe some of the other signs are. It's nice to see you get into that zone and just have a little bit of transparency and know that, you know, not everyone's out to get information about you or to use you to some sense or want you to do something for them or take their responsibility or their emotional weight that they're carrying. It's like, I love this because I keep looking at it. I just keep hearing like, what's up? What's up? What are we doing? Where are we going? So you may very well take on, remember she represents Gemini, Aquarius and Libra. So you may be taking on this Gemini-like energy where you just literally want to hop from one thing to another and experience it and be involved in it. So cool. Cancer, I'm delighted. This is lovely. Now, there is someone here. Let's see what's going on with you. Knight of Rods. Someone's noticing this change in you, by the way. Did you know? Oh my lord, 2 cards fell. No, many cards fell. Do you know what? If they resurface, grand. If not, thanks very much. Ooh, who is this? Who is this for you? Who is this for Cancer? Who's this Knight of Rods? Remember, Knight of Rods, rods being wands, being fire energy, may have a Leo, Aries or Sagittarius. Oh, but he's looking at you. He is looking at you. Alright, let's check it out. Ooh. Got all the cards want to come out. Easy, steady. Wow. Alright. Refreshing beverage. Let's see. Okay, let me just turn you over for a sec here so that kind of get to concentrate a little bit more about the background on this person, right? Okay. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, straight off the bat, really interesting person, because even though they're the Knight of Rods, they may have a lot of earth and water in their chart. And I say that because we've got Virgo here, Aquarius and Cancer. So even though they may be born under the sign of Leo or Sagittarius or Aries, there's a lot more stronger undercurrent of water and earth. And remember, that's what you're completely compatible with as well. This person may have been in, I would say, like isolation mode, because the Hermit's all about self-discovery. It's all about turning inwards to try and find your light and to understand yourself a bit more and to get to know yourself a bit more. And ask those important questions of, who am I? What do I want out of life? Where do I want to go? Who do I want to be? And what do I want to represent? It's about study as well. There's a lot of books with the Hermit for me. Like research. Maybe this person has been researching something, or they have been involved in areas within work or study that, like, it's just isolation. Do you know what I mean? It's very much, you see them every now and again, or like, you hear from them and they're around in that sense, but you don't always see them. Now this person has also, like, I've got the wish card here. This is a star. This is a gorgeous card as well. Look at that peacock, it's beautiful. And this is all about your wishes coming true, what you've really wished for. But it's interesting, because I feel like these two go hand in hand. It's like, yes, he has wishes, he has dreams, he is driven. But, is practical about his dreams as well. I say he because it's the knight, but it could be a female. But it feels like a he. It feels like a he. A male. But for those of you, that's for a larger group. Others of you may go, oh no, this feels, I know someone that's more female in that instance, and that's okay too. But yeah, it feels like they're really kind of practical about their dreams. It's like, yes, I have wishes, I have wants, I have desires, and I want them to materialize. So I've got to put the graft in. I got to study, I got to research, got to find out more about myself as well. Interesting. It's nice to see, like, almost like a practical dreamer. Do you know what I mean? Not just hoping that their life goes a certain way. Yes, they wish and they hope, but at the same time, they're like, there are things that I need to do to get to where I want to be. Now, this person comes up as a knight for you, and you come into this Queen of Swords energy. So this person has noticed a slight change in you, or noticed you coming back to you. But they are very apprehensive as to whether or not to approach you. There is a huge barrier there between them and you, and you may not notice it, because as a rod-like quality, it's a fire sign. They're probably still chatty and still this and still that, but it might be a case that you could be involved with one another. I don't mean like relationship wise, but you just don't. They're very good at hiding their intentions. I'm not saying that they're bad intentions either, but let's put it this way, right? Here's the knight, okay? And he has his helmet on. I guess you could call this his visor, could you? I guess you could call it that, yeah. We'll call it that for now anyway, right? So if you can see his face there, and that's fine, and it's open, you can see it, you can see his eyes, everything, you can see the expression. If he pulls that down, you're not going to see his face anymore, right? You've got that mask. This person very much has that over all of this, over his wanting to approach you on something. It's interesting, that. Let's go back to him a bit more here, and then we'll go back to you guys, yeah. So then we've got the Chariot card as well. So this dude is seriously moving and shaking. Chariot card, as I said, is Cancer. It's all about going forward, wanting to travel, wanting to, physically travel as well, but also like getting places in the sense of work or study or friendships. It's about moving in the right direction, and sometimes this can be like a trailblazing card where it's just like the wheels of the chariot are on fire and they're just going for it. Other times it can be quite slow. This for me at the moment feels like it's moderation. This person is very much in the middle of something. It could, as I say, it could be study, could be a project, could be work related, right? But they're in the middle of it, but they're moving and they're being successful. Not to the heights of success that you might be at, but they're on their way by all means, but this is like beautiful universal energy is definitely in their favor. Let me just look, because I want to investigate this more, right? You. I don't feel like this is someone who is like in a managerial position or, you know, involved in the, because I say corporate hierarchy, as in they're not over you position wise, but they're noticing you. And they actually really like how open you're becoming, freer in yourself you're becoming. This person may ask you to be part of or involved in a certain project, and it's something that they're very passionate about. But it's weird, as it doesn't, like, it is a work thing, but it doesn't feel like it's in a job. I hope this makes sense to you. It's like you may know them through work, but realistically they're going to ask you to be involved in something outside of work. Like, it's all legit. Like, it's all above board. Don't worry, guys, it's all legal, and if it's not, don't enter into it. But yeah, it's very strong male presence here. Look out for this person. You will be approached for something in the second week. Yeah, because they're looking at you and they're watching you, and they have ideas. They're just not involving you in them just yet, but they will approach you. Oh, interesting. And they may want to bring you with them on as part of their journey, because we've got the Six of Swords here, and that as well is all about movement and travel. They see a quality in you that they feel can be very useful for them, and not in a big I'm kind of using you for your resources sort of way, but I mean, like, they're saying, okay, she's got that, or he's got that, that's a really beautiful, great quality. I really think this could be beneficial here in this particular thing. Because Queen of Swords coming up here, and it's the Six of Swords energy here. So he is really enjoying how you're communicating, how you're verbalizing, and how you're conducting yourself. How you're freer in yourself, free in your words and your body language as well, which is a really big thing. How you're a little bit more jovial, a bit giddy, a bit kind of running around the place as well, but like in a nice way, in a cool way. And this may be something that he feels he lacks, but this is a quality that you have that can be brought into another area. And there we are, Queen of Swords and Six of Swords. So it's definitely something he wants to bring. Let me put this way. Let me show you. Okay. So, Chariot, movement, traveling, moving forward. Six of Swords, quite the same. Slightly lesser degree because it's not a major arcana, it's a minor. Here you are, the Queen of Swords. Combine the two together, what do you have? This right here. Someone who is able to bring their thoughts and their words into play, and it's such a great thing for them to have. It moves them into certain directions. It's almost like, you know, your thoughts create your world. It's not as strong as a major arcana, but it's very much your words and your thoughts, your logic, your rationale, the information that you can communicate effectively moves you into this direction. Interesting. Let me know who this is. Because he's very strong in the entire deck, or in the entire spread. Like, obviously you've got people on major arcanas that are bigger than him, but he's very much there. Just keep your eye out for this person. Someone who may not always be the life and soul, but yet it is quietly there. You know, when you just see someone, they're just always, boom, they're there. You never see them coming. You never see them leave, but they're there. And it's like there's like this sounds really funny, this kind of imagery I'm getting, but it's like a tree. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a tree in a park, you know it's there, you see it around, but it's and you know, you can walk past them and not really notice them sometimes, but they're very solid in themselves. They're very solid. Their presence is there. That's what this feels like. yeah, please let me know if this is someone. And I keep getting the name James, but I might be wrong. I actually got it in Irish. In Irish, it's Seamus. Seamus means James in English. So I got Seamus and then I got James. James. Interesting. Well, interesting general reading here. It's not too much kind of like work and study and all that, but it's, it's different elements of your life coming into play here and how involved you are in them as well. So why don't we now go on to your bi-weekly love reading, Cancer. Who is this? James. I keep getting Seamus, but that's going to be only a few of you. Like one or two of you would know a Seamus. I know. But not an awfully bad reading, is it? Quite a good one, actually. I'm glad you're taking the time out. And I'm glad you're coming back into your lovely emotional selves. Now, let's see how their love life is doing. Cancers, I actually don't think Cancers have a very bad love life. I think you're very good at selecting people as partners. You look at the entire package and you're quite cautious before you really kind of pick someone, because you're quite loyal as well. Let me see. One more. Yes. Oop, sticky. One more. Lovely. All right. Okay. Let's see now, Cancer. So your top line, first week in love. Second line is, bottom line is your second week in love. Okay. Interesting, right? Okay, let's have a look, yeah? All right. Okay, so first of all, you've 3 major arcanas out of 6 cards. And you've 2 quite emotional cards here as well. Let's go to the beginning of your love life for the first week. So we've got the Hanged Man here, major arcana. Interesting guy. He's quite stagnant in energy. He's not moving. He's making a choice not to move. But he thinks that by not going left or right, by not going forward or back, that he's okay, that he hasn't made a choice. But realistically, he's choosing to just hang from this tree. Essentially like the tree of life. What's interesting is his hands are behind his back. They are not tied. His foot is tied, one foot is free. So there are many things that could get him out of this binding scenario. Yet he chooses to stay there. Can be, as well, this is very much a card of not being part of the crowd and not wanting to be part of the crowd and kind of going against social conformity. What is expected of you in many ways. Social traditions even. And this is all about looking for something or looking at something for how it really is. So the Hanged Man, if our perception creates our reality, then we want to make sure that we have the most accurate perception that there is. His perception is off now. And I say that because he's hanging upside down. He can't really see things for how they are because he's not the right way around. What you want to do in the Hangman energy is turn it this way. Oh, you can see better. Do you know what it's like? It's like when you were a kid and you used to hang well, I don't know, I did this as a kid, but we used to hang off the side of the bed, or used to hang off the couch, and your head would be hanging upside down. And the world was not how it normally is, obviously. Because visually, you're the wrong way around. It's not a very heavy energy, it's just a heavy energy that makes you feel stuck. That makes you feel like you're not going anywhere. But you're also, this is an energy that says you choose not to go anywhere. You choose not to make a decision to move back or go forward. You're standing still in yourself. That's not going to get you anywhere. The possibility of freedom, of progression, is there. But we don't always want to take it. So this might be how you feel in your love life at the moment. That it's just not moving. That it's not grooving. Maybe you're not going on dates. Maybe you are going on dates, and it's the same crap. It's just that same level. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's not happening. And it can be a very, very disheartening thing as well. Instead of looking at this as a detriment at the start of the week, what I'd like you to do is flip the script on yourself, right? Instead of going, nothing's moving and shaking. Nothing is going the way I wanted to go in my love life. I can't meet anyone, or I thought he or she was a certain way and they're not. It's been like this for months now. It's been like this for years. What I want you to do is turn it and go like this, right? Change the mindset, Cancer. Say, all right, okay. Things aren't moving and shaking as much as I'd like them to. Things aren't accelerating, and they're not even like decreasing in speed. Nothing's really happening. So take this as a time of limbo for yourself. When you are in an emotional limbo, it's for a good reason. It's for you to clear out things, but it's also for you to kind of get to know yourself a little bit more before somebody can come in. You really need to be ready for when that person comes in. And you're not at the moment. And that's why things aren't moving. You're technically in the waiting room of love. You're probably like, oh my God, but I'm sick of the waiting room of love. Yeah, I get it. Most of us are in there, in fairness. Hell, I'm in there. I can totally understand. But so say to yourself, if this is the case, if I'm in the waiting room of love, then what am I going to do? There are other things I need to do and I need to take care of first. And there are, because in your midweek you've got 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. So we're back to you. We're back to your cup-like energy. We've got that beautiful emotional abundance that is normally applied to Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. Emotional fluidity. Emotional data. Understanding that of the self that carries and moves in waves. 8 of Cups is all about leaving something behind. Saying goodbye to something. It's interesting you got these two. We need to talk about these two. But it is about walking away. Having put in that emotional investment in things and not getting anywhere. Normally this is for one person, but you know what I feel like this is? I feel like this is the amount of times that you've either gone on dates, or you've invested in people, or you've invested in someone. How many months, how many weeks? But this feels like always being let down by the idea of love and by the supposed guarantee that we have of love. We're always we're raised to believe that there is someone out there for everyone, and that there's one person and they're the one, and if that's the case, I'm sure people wouldn't be remarrying. I mean, there's people come into your life for different reasons. To say that there's only one person we ever truly love, that's stretching it a bit. There are special people in our lives, but to say that there's just one, they all come in to teach us things about ourselves. But I know that you're struggling at the moment with all of this, and it's like you're giving up on it. And I swear to you, I just don't want you to do that. Like, you were doing so well in your own, let's say, personal life, but life outside of love, that you were coming into yourself and you were owning it and you were having it for yourself, and it It wasn't for anyone else. I said that gift was for you. So again, let's flip the script on perspective here and perception. And say, yes, maybe these cups, maybe you had to walk away from them, maybe they just didn't work out. But you still hold your own, and that's the most important. You've got to have that emotional resource available to you to always have, because if you give too much emotionally, there's nothing left for you. And you can't give that to someone else. You can't give nothing to someone. But interestingly enough, you're going to start coming into your own here. And something is going to happen that the strength card comes in for the end of the week for you. So maybe you're walking away from what you perceive to be kind of like dead end relationships or dead end dates, or just dead end love life. You're going to start to understand what I mean by holding that cup for you. Being that Page of Cups energy, being that King of Cups energy. Because then, boom, you're into the Strength card. What is this card? This is Leo. This is pure fire. It's everything that, how do I say this? Like, in the traditional Rider-Waite, you've got a female and you've got a lion. And it's almost like she, without any instruments, she can control this lion by just being herself. It is very much, the masculine, the male figure through the lion with the beautiful feminine energy of the woman. For me, a lot of the time, it's about getting to grips with our feminine side and our masculine side. And for me, that truly is the yin and yang card of the entire tarot deck. It really is. You may possibly feel like a lone wolf the next week. You will feel like it's just you. But when I said to you, you're in that like limbo, that waiting room of love, it's so that you can come to terms with that male and female energy that we all embody. Rather than just the female, because cups can be a very feminine energy, yeah? Very feminine. Not a bad thing, but isn't it good to know both sides of ourselves? And within that knowledge that you will require at the end of the week, that's when you start to feel stronger. That's when you start to go, do you know what? I don't need X, Y, and Z. Don't need him, don't need her, don't need that past, don't need this past, don't want to go back to that. And you start to feel fully formed. And that's fantastic, Cancer. Because you need to do that in order to give yourself to someone. To say, look, I embody both man, both woman. I understand those sides to me. I am whole regardless of whether or not I have someone. You'll start to stand straighter. You'll start to feel taller. You'll start to feel almost elongated, like your feet are solid, you're rooted to the ground, yet at the same time you elevate. You're in that waiting room of love because you need to feel this. You need to start to understand this. Now I know for many of you this might seem like, oh, this seems like a very kind of like singles reading rather than couples. But you can be in a relationship that's stagnant and decide not to go anywhere because it's too painful. This can really apply to being in a couple scenario. Now your second week of love, you start to get it. And you start to build again. You start to build on yourself. So before we were feeling it and you were coming to understandings of it, and now you come to 3 of Pentacles. That's all about building something. And as I always say, Pentacles for me is aspects of the self. You're building on yourself. You're the creator of yourself. And you know, it's a 3, so it's not the very beginning, but it's not a 10. It's not complete yet. So is this something that will take time for you? Yes. Is this something that is a progression? Yes. It is. Is it something you will have to tip away at? Okay. What is going on with this 5 of Cups? Why have you gone back to this way of thinking? I'm going to figure it out for you. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Try it again. Okay. So let's turn these over for a sec and look at these for you. You can see them as well. Yep, okay. Okay, so some of you may have been going out with another water sign. It may have been a Cancer, it may have been Scorpio or Pisces. They may have had a water moon in their chart, which was very dominant. It feels like a Cancer man, but as I said, it could be moon, or it could be that their natal chart is heavily flooded with that water element that you share, okay? This was very much a hugely loving relationship. You very much felt grounded by this person. This person held their own, but in a very soft manner. At the same time, you felt very grounded, and you were kind of treated as like a queen almost. But this is the Empress. She is so much more than that. She holds a higher position than the queens do. But there was something in him that created this like structure within you that made you feel a bit more solid emotionally, because he gave to you emotionally, and he kind of like emotionally stabilized you. Sorry, I'm saying he from a female perspective, but if you're a male watching this who's interested in females, just literally flip the script on what I'm saying, okay? So by saying that this person is a she. Okay, so I kind of feel like this was a really heavy learning experience for you, but not in a very bad way. It was actually great, and you really kind of, you shined a little bit with this person, and it was like you understood what love meant. You thought you knew it before, and then you felt this, and this was greater than you could have possibly ever had anticipated. Now, what's attached to this is obviously heavy emotion, but it's this beautiful nostalgia, like this looking back and thinking how amazing that was, and how beautifully connected you were emotionally. And even though at times that your opinions, and even like sometimes your mental, I don't want to say mental capabilities, but I would say your mental processes, how you both thought of things, and your opinions on certain things would differ greatly, but there was still that bonding of this water energy. It was like your two individuals coming together. It's like they didn't complete you, you didn't complete them, but together you're tied by emotional threads. Lovely, actually. But there's a problem in this, and that whoever this was in your life, you're looking back, like, I don't know what happened, but you're looking back, maybe you're both just your past, just kind of separate because of the choices that you're making on your own journeys, because there's very much two individuals here. It's not like here we have the 6 of Cups and 2 people are looking at each other, but the 2 individuals who stand alone yet together. So maybe even it was a case that maybe this was a slightly secretive relationship, or people didn't know about you too, or you kept it quiet for a very long time before you came public about it, and even when you became public about it, you still maintained your independence greatly, knowing that those emotional threads, they created that bond between the two of you. So it didn't matter if you were both doing your own thing or didn't see each other for a week or so, you still felt connected, which is really interesting, cool. But there is a heavy rose tinted glasses view of this as well, because with any relationship, you're going to have your ups and your downs, you're going to have differences, you're going to have opposition, and it's necessary because it's tough, and there's 2 people trying to come together to be together and be an us, and it's hard. Relationships are hard, but you're looking at it with a 6 of Cups, and now I realize what's brought you back here, okay, to this energy is You're thinking and seeing like this, but it's in the view of this, if that makes sense to you, okay? You've got a 6 and a 5. This is how you see things in your mind's eye. This is how you want to see things in your mind's eye. But in reality, when you pull out of that memory, this is what you're left with. The what could have beens. The if I could have done this differently. I could have tried harder. What if I made other choices? Like you... It was beautiful and it was loving and it was there and it was real, but it's time to focus on the next chapter of your life. And it doesn't necessarily, it might not involve this person. Maybe that person will come back in the future, maybe not. But we're not who we were yesterday. And to go back to that now, where you are in your life at the moment, it wouldn't work. It worked then because of who you were then. It worked then because of who they were then. Now it can be very different. But I want you to rely on your resources a little bit more here because, as I said, this is all about crying over spilt milk. You have 2 cups here. You got to hold on to your own. I know that there are options. There are other resources. But you just need to, when I talked about perception and perspective, you need to, I said you need to flip the script. You need to turn around and see this. You need to hone in on this. Instead of getting so far and then pulling back because it's not what we used to have. Do you know? But what do you have that will just blow all this out of the water for you and cleanse you in many ways, emotionally especially, is this death card. Now, death, does it look scary? Kind of. I'm not scared of the death card though. The death card, remember, it's the supernova card. It's all about something dying so something can be born and put into its place. Is that there are a limited amount of positions that we can put things in, that we can live through, that we can be involved in. Something needs to die in order to give way for things. And it's really important that this cleansing experience of death comes along so that we can be ready for the next chapter. We can be ready for what's ahead of us and what's more importantly for us, of who we are now. So this death card is going to come in. You really just need to turn around, Cancer, and push forward into this energy. Now, you won't like it. I'll tell you that now. Like, you will not like this. It will feel emotionally barbaric. It will feel like it is breaking you down emotionally. But there is a new day coming. And something that is way more relevant to you now as a person is coming. As I said, you want to know you, warts and all, memories and all. You want to know you so you can bring you forward into something else that is of way more benefit to you. That death card is literally going to just blow all this away. It's those ripples when you skim a stone and you get those beautiful ripples on a lake. It's going to push all that energy back off you. But it will do that. It will feel uncomfortable, yes, but it will feel less uncomfortable if you completely turn into that energy. There's a lot of sadness that you need to get rid of. And it's creating this like emotional dust inside of you, and you gotta clear it out. That's why you're here. That's why you're stuck in that, like, what did I call it? Limbo room, the limbo lounge. That's why you're there, so you can do all of this, and then you attract what you really want. You attract someone who fits you now. Ooh. It's similar to Capricorn in the sense that it's very much about you. These readings are very much about you as the person. But, like, I would love to be like, there's a guy coming in and he's going to be this and that and the other. But, let's take care of us first before we can even think about taking care of anyone else. And on top of that, they should be able to take care of themselves. Because you've done that, you're going to put in all this energy and effort. So you want someone that's done the same. Okay, Cancer. What a next 2 weeks you're going to have. But look, as I said, you're like ridiculously resilient. So if anyone can do it, you can. You have to bend. You're going to have to change your perception on things, and you're going to have to allow that energy you're just going to have to drive into that energy, yeah? You really are. My lovelies, my lovely Cancers, this has been your reading for May the 15th to May the 31st, 2017. If you dig what I do, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And if you have any questions or any questions about this particular reading as well for you, then just right at the bottom, let me know. And I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. And also, I do private readings. So if you would like a personalised reading, let me know. My email is below. I can email you my rates. And I do Skype readings and I do footage as well. My darlings, you have a great next 2 weeks. Take care of yourselves, okay? Let it all wash over you. And I'll see you in June. Take care. Bye-bye.